on. Generation X, back from 1977, I believe that was. I went to see them live then. Did I ever tell you about that?
Yeah, you've told us a number of
60p
occasions.
was to get in. 60p at the Marquee, Wardour Street. Billy Idol had red hair.
Did he?
Those were the days. That was their first single. Charles Dale is with us already. I can see he's excited about talking about the heady days of early punk.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Can I say, sir, how lovely and summery you look today?
Well, this time yesterday morning I was on my boat.
Well, look at you now. You've caught the sun.
Caught the sun.
You've got your casual shirt on.
Casual shirt on.
Your sandals, your flip-flops.
My
Look at
flip-flops.
that.
My
They're very real
zip-off
flip-flops.
trousers.
Hold it. Now, what happens to those trousers? They zip off.
They zip off.
Oh, I'm not sure if I approve of that.
Shorts.
You're quite thick set leg you've got going on there.
It's a big old rugby leg.
Yeah, well, do you play rugby?
I used to.
And you don't anymore?
Nah.
Why did you give up?
I kept getting hurt.
Yeah, well, that would be a
If
good
you
reason.
if you don't train like 3 nights a week, it hurts too much.
Was there a kind of a homoerotic undertone for you? Is that why you got involved? Was it the kind of slap
you know,
of male flesh against flesh, the showers afterwards, the mud on a man's body, the rubbing of the linseed oil, the deep heat, and so on and so forth, the
I was
slapping each other
discussing
with
this
the towel
only
in the
yesterday,
old shower?
actually.
Was there an element of that?
Certainly not for me. I never experienced it until I played English rugby, where they all jump in the bath in
Yeah, you
Wales.
see.
Everybody gets in the shower. It's slightly different.
But you've got next to no Welsh accent left. It's like, unless you'd have mentioned Wales then, I would probably have forgotten that's from whence you came.
Oh, no, but I can start talking like that if I want to. You
That's a
know,
nice
it just
accent.
comes back. But that's not my accent anyway. Where I come from it's a cross between... I'm from Pembrokeshire.
And no, is that Northern Wales? Isn't
No,
it?
that's West Wales.
Right.
And they talk like that, see, boy, because it's all the Cornish fishermen used to come over.
so you can
So it's
hear
a
that.
cross between Welsh and
Do you
Cornish.
speak Welsh yourself?
No, I don't.
I'm learning Welsh.
Are you?
Well,
indeed?
I haven't started yet, but I keep saying I'm going to, and kind people have sent me some tapes,
I think you should.
and I've been watching Digidoll.
With your gift for dialect,
I think I
you
could do
should.
it.
I think you should.
And I
yeah.
like the sing-song quality of it.
Yeah.
And it would be a nice language to have, wouldn't it?
Yeah, it's always very difficult because people have to be very careful because otherwise you go Asian.
Yeah, I do go Asian.
It's very easy.
I might
A
learn
lot of
some sort of Asian
similarities.
language at the same time.
Perhaps Hindi or something.
We'll create a new hybrid.
Yeah.
Do you watch much Welsh TV, though? Do you ever watch any?
I'm on some of it, but I don't get a chance to watch much of it.
But presumably you can't play Welsh language characters if you don't
No,
speak the Welsh.
no.
Have you been in Pobl Cwm?
I haven't been in Poblacom.
That's all Welsh, of course.
That is.
Here's what I like about the Welsh language, Charles.
Yeah.
Please feel free to chip in and tell me what you love about it.
Yeah.
I love the way that their modern phrases, it's rather like Japanese to an extent, with
Oh,
modern
television,
phrases
yeah,
from the
bung
rest of
it
the
in.
Yeah, they bung the word in without changing it.
Yeah.
So you'll hear about bang this Mandarin orange. Like that.
Yeah.
So there's
Hindi.
enough for us to
Exactly.
understand. But you're rather, I don't know whether it was intended on your part, but you sort of avoided being typecast as a Welsh actor. I don't think I've ever seen you play a role where you're using your own accent or being a Welsh man.
Years ago, there was an actor called Gareth Thomas who used to be Blake in Blake 7.
Oh, I remember, yeah.
And he said to me, Charles, never forget, you're an actor that happens to be Welsh. You're not a Welsh actor. You know, I don't like getting put in boxes generally. Yeah. That's why I tend to do different things as often as I can.
You often play Northern characters, I've noticed.
I often play Northern characters.
Why do you think that is? Why do they cast you?
I don't know. I've always had a bit of an ear for dialect, and I think it started. It's what people see on the telly first, and I think the big break for me, I suppose, was the chef in the Lakes, and that he was Cumbrian. So then people kind of went, "Oh, he must be Cumbrian. He must be from the north then."
Yeah.
And then they kind of don't look much further.
But that's a tribute to your skill with accents, of course. If they call
hopefully,
that.
yeah.
Now you've been in a number of very kind of like high-profile productions. The highest profile, I guess, being Coronation Street, because you can't really get bigger than the two big soaps in this country for an actor, I would have thought. And how long were you in Coronation Street for?
About 18 months altogether.
And who did you play? This guy, Dennis something.
Dennis.
Because I don't watch Coronation Street.
No.
Okay. Nothing wrong with Coronation Street. It's just not for me. Andy likes it.
I love it.
Okay. We don't need to say any more as to who it's aimed at.
Yeah.
You know, if we look
What?
at that demographically,
What? Normal people?
I'm near the front of the alphabet.
Yeah.
Andy's more near the middle.
Yeah.
Okay.
Fair enough.
But I would have thought a great programme to be involved with, because you know it's got, on average, it must be 13, 14 million. It goes up to about 18 million sometimes. The audience you're reaching is vast.
It is. It's absolutely huge. I mean, I made a decision because I got sick of all the soap stars getting the best jobs, and then they came along and they said, "Do you fancy a stint in Coronation Street?" And I said, "Yeah." And I always promised myself I'd never do more than 2 years, and I did 18 months, and it worked perfectly.
And your character got killed, didn't he?
He did, yeah.
So was that written in, or did you know that's how it was going to end at the beginning? Was that part of the fact that you're only going to do it for a short period?
You never know anything. I mean, basically what happened was the BBC offered me a job, which was the first series of Eustace Bros, which was then called Paradise Heights, and I read the script and I wanted to do it. So I said, look, I really, really wanted to do that. The BBC worked it out so that it timed. They put it back 2 months so I could finish my contract
that's
and do
good,
it.
huh?
Yeah, it was brilliant.
You see, that's what BBC are like, you see.
It is, it's
Whereas
very
ITV
helpful.
wouldn't do that for you, I don't think.
Very helpful. But they did that, yeah, and then and I was optioned for 3 years, so they couldn't really have me back for 3 years, even if they wanted me. So it wasn't much point, so they killed me.
Let's talk about something else you did, which I did see and very much enjoyed. Joe Cocker on Celebrity Stars in Their Eyes. Wow. Now, okay. So how does that happen? Presumably they approach you initially and say, "Will you do this?"
Yeah.
Okay. And do they then say you could be this person, or do you say, "Well, I think I could sing like"?
Yeah. No. Basically, that's pretty much it. They were sort of. It was Joe Cocker or Bob Dylan. Well, I'm way too big for Bob Dylan, so it kind of ended up with Joe Cocker. Yeah.
Can we have a little bust?
You can have a little.
Okay, hold on. This is Charles Dale performing live for you this morning, so it's 2 live performances today. A little bit of Joe Cocker for yous.
What would you do if I sang out of tune? Would you stand up and walk out on me?
That's bloody good, isn't it? That's great. And you don't have to have Joe Cocker in the studio. Which, let's face it,
cheaper rates.
Cheap, and also I think he's clearly a little bit doolally. I mean, what's all that? You know, it's like...
Well, it's tricky to do, because he does it off the beat.
It's like a hyperactive kid. That's fantastic. Do you sing? Have you ever sung in a band or anything like that?
Yeah, I used to be a singer. I used to sort of sing in pubs and clubs when I was a kid. That's how I started entertaining, basically. Yeah. And then when the acting came along, I don't get any time. I still play and sing, you know, but that's just for me.
What instruments do you play?
Guitar.
Yeah, guitar's a great sound, isn't it?
That's fantastic.
You can pick it up, you can strum along, you can do it. What a nice thing. If and when the world ends, I'll be in a bunker with you.
Oh, very good.
Some girls as well, hopefully.
Hopefully.
But a guitar and you singing, that'll while away the hours, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
I'm making a list. Have you ever done that?
Me or Mel Gibson?
You ever made a list of people you'd like to be in a nuclear bunker with? Do it now.
It's a good idea.
Make your list now, because when it all goes off, it'll be one of those things you don't have time to do.
No, true.
That's a little something for you. People in the other room looking somewhat horrified that I've gone in that territory, just in case, you know what I mean? Place to be prepared. Get some fresh water in and make your list. We're here with Charles Dales. I guess, should we go to the news now?
We'll have to go... No, not yet. Unless you want to go 2 minutes
early.
I'm
confused as to the time today, for some reason. I haven't got my watch with me.
You've basically got another minute.
All right. Charles, I want to talk to you about the state of British drama. That's okay. We won't go into it now because you've only got a minute.
Fine.
And I think even you probably couldn't do it all that. But do you feel that there isn't as much good drama on TV as there used to be?
Simple answer, yes. There you go.
More after the news. 88 to 91 FM. This is Radio 2 from the BBC. Jimi Hendrix. That's fantastic. We're with Mr. Charles Dale before the news. I asked the deliberately contentious question, is drama today lacking on television? Is there less of it? Is it not of the same quality? To which Charles replied shortly, sweetly and succinctly,
yes.
And it's true, and I look at TV now and you think, okay, the soaps are pretty good these days. They've got great actors in, great storylines.
Yep.
It's good acting, there's no doubt about it.
Yeah.
But I can remember when I was a kid growing up, it seemed to be on TV that there were always plays on, there were always sort of showcases for new writing and new talent, and now that does seem to have died out, doesn't it?
It doesn't seem to be half as much as they used to be. I mean, there's a lot more channels these days, so there's not so much money to spend on things, and I think that happens a lot. The Beeb, of course, still turn out these fantastic period pieces, things like that. But the new writing does seem to be a lot more thin on the ground than it used to be.
You say there's not so much money about it, and I wonder whether that's even necessary, because I remember the sort of plays I'm thinking about were Play for Today, and you had, ITV had a strand of regular plays, not live, I don't believe, but kind of they were done in a studio. They weren't location-based, they weren't filmed out and about and edited, they were kind of done, I would have thought, over a couple of days in a TV studio. And that can't be that expensive, I would have thought.
No, but I think today people's expectations have grown because we have this massive movie industry, this massive Hollywood thing where there's explosions and car chases and bigger and more and more extras and more gunfights and all that. I think people watch that and they expect that on their television, which is a shame because I think those smaller projects, you're absolutely right, are much better.
But even ideas, idea-driven plays can work. Do you remember that Nigel Neal, the writer, used to do stuff like, I think he might have been involved in the original Quatermass, and he wrote Year of the Sex Olympics. I don't know if you remember that play.
Vaguely.
And that was the one which kind of... what's the word I'm looking for here? Not preempted, but kind of pointed out what we have on television today, which is the Big Brother type show. This was in which people from a lower caste were put into a kind of difficult situation and watched by the chattering classes who kind of enjoyed seeing them suffer.
Yeah.
And that's essentially Big Brother. And that was a great drama that didn't call for huge special effects or locations. It was kind of like intense and close. Someone could write that sort of stuff still.
I agree, but I don't think the powers that be are looking for that kind of stuff as much, perhaps.
Well, Charles, you and me, we could change this.
We could.
Let's get an idea together, go and see him, let's get it off the ground.
I don't want to be a producer.
No, come on. You see, now that's why it's not happening. You're lazy.
No, it's not that.
It is that. You
It's
just
not
said
that.
so
I see
much.
what being a producer turns you into.
Well, you don't need a little...
Because all of a sudden you go, no, how much does it cost?
Yeah, well,
we
you
can't
could-
do it for that.
yeah,
We can't. We've got to do it for that.
So what you're going to do is you're going to sit there and moan about the fact it's not on TV, and you're not prepared to get off your well-paid, well-padded backside this one about it. Typical Welsh, eh? Typical.
No, I do my bit internally.
No, you don't do your bit. I'm the busiest man in show business. I offered to do it, and you said no.
No, I said I didn't want to do it.
Well, you
I'd
see.
do anything you produce, though.
Well, that's okay then. Let's work on that.
We'll
then.
work on that project.
Charles is a gadget man, apparently.
All right.
You like gimmicks? You like gadgets?
I like gimmicks
Are you
and
what they
gadgets.
call an early adopter?
I don't know.
That's someone who has to have the new thing as soon as it comes
Oh,
out.
of course, absolutely. Phones, I pay through the nose for
Yeah.
every phone I've ever had.
And they're never any good, are they?
They're never any good.
You've got a boat, haven't you?
I've got a boat, yeah. I've got a speedboat.
Now, do you use it much?
In the last 2 years, of course, no, because I've been working.
Okay, I met Cannon and Ball once, and what are you laughing
God,
at?
never expected that to come out of your mouth.
Okay, no, they're great fellas. I had a fantastic afternoon. They told me some great stories, none of which you can repeat here. But one of the things they did say was that Tommy Cannon once bought himself a big yacht when they were at the peak of their powers. And I asked him about that, just joking and chatting, and he said, buying a yacht gives you the 2 happiest days of your life. The day you buy it, and then the day you sell it. Because I can imagine them being quite I would have thought, expensive thing to keep hold of, to run, to look after.
Relatively. I mean, I would say they're no more expensive to run than a big car.
Oh, really?
No, not really.
And when do you use it? This is a sports boat.
It's a sports boat. It's got a cabin on it if you want to sleep in it and all that kind of stuff. But it's just fun. I mean, my wife always says to me, because I'm always on it at 6 o'clock in the morning, because to me that's the best part of the day.
Yeah.
And she says, I can watch you through the binoculars. I can see your shoulders drop. So for me, it's perfect. I was born by the sea. I grew up by the sea. When we were kids, we were in the water 9 hours a day. Yeah. So for me, being back on the water again, it's just fantastic.
Your wife watches you through binoculars a lot, does she, Charles?
She does. She does, yeah.
I don't like
She
the
doesn't
idea.
like to be too
I'll
close
be honest
to
with
me.
you, if I had a yacht and I was off shufting around on my own, I wouldn't want to think of my wife spying on me. I wouldn't like to think what she'd catch me
She's
doing.
looking lovingly at me.
The
from
whole
a
point of being
distance,
out at
that's
sea on a yacht is to get away from you and the kids. Don't keep looking at me. It does sound like fun though. So where do you go on the yacht? The boat?
Well, I started
thing?
off with it. I had it on Windermere for a year because you need to get to know every new boat and things like that. And I had it there for a year, and then it was up in Pwllheli in North Wales, where my wife's family comes from, and now I just moved it down to Cardiff because we're hopefully moving down to Cardiff in the not too far distant future.
My wife's been travelling through Wales, but she's been filming it. She's doing a TV thing for the Living Channel, and she's been going about. And she, when it was, came back in love with the place.
It's fantastic.
Yeah,
it is a wonderful, wonderful country.
And she was amazing. And she was saying, it's terrible of us, but she couldn't believe, the lovely kind of modern shops in even little small villages.
Oh yeah.
I don't know why I expected you to say anything other than yes. There, you're obviously not amazed because you're Welsh.
Well, exactly.
The rest of us are quite surprised.
Yeah, no, it's great.
But it's a terrible. Is there a kind of prejudice? What do you encounter from English people to Welsh people? What do you think we expect Wales to be like?
Well, I know more sheep jokes than anybody else.
Yeah.
I think probably that's the first thing that you always.
But
get.
you don't do that so much anymore with the sheep, do you?
Well, we do it and you eat them. That's the way to look at it.
You tenderise the meat.
Yeah,
we enjoy the finish.
Exactly. But no, I don't really find it. I've lived in England for 20 years because that's where I chose my work to be.
Yeah.
I now do one series a year down in Cardiff, which I really enjoy, and I want to get back. I think Wales, you try and get away from it somehow, but it always drags you back because it is a fantastic place to be.
I guess especially being an actor, I guess you can kind of live anywhere you want in the country.
Once you get to a certain stage, and I mean, hopefully, and I'm very happy where I am right now, because I make good money and I have a nice career and I get some time off.
And you've got a boat.
And I got a boat,
yeah.
which I can sit on and play with, So, yeah, once you get to a certain stage, then you don't have to be in London quite so much because people come looking for you, hopefully.
That's the great thing. And I'm pleased for you. Let's have some more music and we'll chat to Charles some more after this. What are we going to play now, Andy?
Track by Mr. David Bowie from the Heathen album.
Lovely. David Bowie.
Yeah.
Big Dave. He'll be playing again live in this country starting on my birthday. That's November the 17th.
Are you after a
I'm
gift?
29 years old and nothing too big. Nothing too
From
flash.
who? David? Or just
From
listeners?
anyone. David should get me something big.
What happens if we end up with a load of stuff from listening public?
That'd be great. There's nothing wrong with that. We'll give a tiny bit of it to charity, and that's the bit we'll announce, and the rest we'll keep.
Yeah, the rubbish stuff that you've already got.
I expect a yacht from Charles. A speedboat from Charles. Or at least those binoculars his wife uses on a regular basis. Charles has got a baby boy, is that correct?
I have, yeah.
How old is he now?
He's 10 months.
Wow, what a lovely age.
Absolutely fantastic age.
And how nice as well, this lovely summer we're enjoying this year, to have a little baby with little bare toes and sitting in the pram and stuff.
Running around, yeah.
What's his name?
His name's Laurie.
And will there be any more, do you think, or is it for you?
I don't know. I think that'll mostly be down to my wife, actually.
Yeah. It's quite a handful, isn't it?
It is.
Were you, I mean, this was a planned child, one hope.
It was, yeah.
Okay, that's good. And were you looking forward to having a boy, or did you not mind?
Well, you go through the whole thing, and I was going, I don't care, 5 fingers, 5 toes, I don't care, really, whatever. And then when he came out, my wife said, I thought you were a really good actor until he came out, and the nurse went, it's a boy. She said, your face just lit up.
Yeah.
I don't know why, I didn't think that in advance, but apparently I had a grin from ear to ear.
It's funny, but maybe you'd have done that anyway, because I really wanted a baby girl for the first child. I don't know why, and then we had a baby girl, and then we had my little boy, the second one. I was delighted, and the third one, we're still not sure what sex.
Arthur,
That's
Martha.
a joke. She's at home. You know, I quite would have liked to have had a hermaphrodite child, actually.
Don't start.
It would have been interesting. We could have watched it growing up and written a paper on it. Would it be interesting, wouldn't it, Charles?
The weird and wonderful world that is the inside of your
But
head.
wouldn't that be
It's
strange?
fantastic?
I would love to have had a child with wings or a tail.
A tail?
Yeah, wouldn't that have been fantastic?
We could hang them up
Yeah, a little
from
tail.
things if
And, you know,
they were misbehaving.
How proud you'd be to have, never mind doing well at school, a tail, that's all I'd want.
Yeah.
Is it too much to ask?
No.
Doesn't have to move or anything, just hang there.
More costly trousers.
Yeah, a little hole in the back.
Yeah.
We were talking earlier on about the quality of drama on TV, but there's something that I read about you in which I missed, which sounds great though, and I'm hoping it was good. I'm hoping it's something you were proud of. Secret Society,
Secret Society,
which I didn't see.
which was a truly extraordinary film about female sumo wrestlers.
It sounds remarkable.
It was something of an art house.
Now, is this based
film.
on a true story, or is this just someone's fervent imagination?
I've no idea. It actually started out as somewhat of a feminist movie because it was about about large ladies.
Well, it's empowering.
Large ladies who were learning to be graceful through the use of sumo.
I like the sound
and
of that.
have their self-confidence and strength. I actually think it is now owned by one of the largest porn companies in the UK.
I'm sure
I'm
there's
not
a specific audience for that.
I'm sure there is.
I mean, the number of times I've entered female sumo into my Google search engine and come up with nothing.
Yeah, geez, didn't come up with that.
No, I
did
know
he?
to put slash Secret Society of Charles Dale. There we go. Bingo!
Yeah, I played a Welsh space entity spotting lunatic.
Right, who got involved with...
fantastic.
And were you dating one of the women, or you were just a fan?
No,
or?
we thought we'd seen these weird ceremonies going on, and we thought they were all being possessed by UFOs.
You see, that's the kind of drama we want on TV. Was it ever shown on...
It's proper. you
Was
see.
it shown on TV?
It wasn't. No. I think it went straight to video.
I
rehearsal.
have to get hold of a copy of that film.
It's out there. It is out there.
Okay, I'm going to get hold of a copy, and I will drop you a line, and we'll let you know what we thought.
Marvellous.
Obviously, we'll soften the blow if it's, you know. Have you seen the finished product?
I have seen the finished
And what did you
product.
think?
I think it's not what it should have been.
But, you know, you learn from
I
everything.
enjoyed myself. I
Yeah.
played a madman, and madmen are just such fun because
Yeah.
you can do anything you want.
And did you? What sort of mad traits did you give him?
Oh no, he was just like a mad crusty, really.
Yeah.
I can things through my nose and through my ears.
Oh, so he was a kind
and
of like a Glastonbury
combat.
type.
Yeah, he was.
Yeah.
He was a Glastonbury.
And the sumo
But
ladies.
manic.
There were lots of big ladies on the set all day.
There were lots of very large ladies.
Hefty catering bill.
Healthy. Can
Can you imagine that in the budget? What's going on? We're making a movie. What's this for the catering? That's 5 times the amount you need. Well, it's about female. It's fair enough. Double ticket, 4 wagons, and extra sausages. But do you like the larger lady?
I have nothing against the larger lady. But
I
you
like
neither
the larger
do.
lady.
Do you? You do, in fact. Yes.
Yeah, I tell you, it's an eye opener to me. I spent all my life looking at the thinner lady.
Mm-hmm.
Now I can look at all of them. I've doubled my options.
Exactly.
It's a fantastic. I slow down when I drove past Evans.
I like.
Evans outside, so I slow down to see if there's any good-looking fatties outside. I'm not ashamed to admit it. Occasionally I've thought about going in, pretending I'm buying a bra for a friend. Johnny Vegas, maybe. Well, I'm in trouble when I get home.
Yeah, you are.
My wife's watching through binoculars. Charles,
In fact, I can see it. Right.
You know, we didn't even mention the new thing in yet because, we mentioned the Eustace Brothers, but you've got a new series of there, in which you work with Neil Morrissey, who we've met. We've had him on the show here. A lovely, lovely fella.
They're very nice, man.
A tangled love life, it seems to me, always. He seems to go from one thing to another, but good luck to him. He's a lovely fella. And Ralph Little, also a very talented actor. I bet that's a lot of fun to shoot.
It is a lot of fun. Yeah, we do get on very well, and it's sort of centres around the three of us most of the time. So we're basically there for 4 months, pretty much every day.
You must look forward to that, I imagine, going into work, knowing you're with these guys, because they're easy company.
Yes, they are both good lads. Yeah, very much. In fact, I was out with Ralph last night.
And is the relationship on screen, is that similar to the relationship off screen? I mean, do your characters sort of begin to resemble what you're playing?
Oh, very much so. Yeah, because occasionally the banter goes and it goes on and on and on and on, and then those two start squabbling. And it's always me and him going, look, can you, a pair of you, will you? And then I start, which is exactly what Clive's like.
Do you leave it, is there much of it improvised? I mean, is there stuff that you go off from the script, or?
I wouldn't say it was improv. I wouldn't go as far as that, but we do have a tendency to make it up as we go along sometimes. We just, because that's what the producers liked about the first series, is when we just kind of went off on little flights of fancy.
And you can normally tell, I think, and not always, but as an audience, there's something about, even if it's not improvised, but you can sense when there's a genuine rhythm to the relationship which crosses over into the work, and that's clearly what there is in that programme.
Yeah, definitely.
The Eustace Brothers, a new series starts on Tuesday the 15th of July on BBC One.
It does.
Make it a date. It's great. How many in this current series? You know how many? 6. That's not that many, really, is it?
No, 6 1 hours.
Yeah, well, maybe next year they'll give you a few more.
You never know.
If you want them.
Perhaps.
Charles, it's been a pleasure spending time with you. Thank you so much for coming
Absolute delight.
You should get back and enjoy the rest of the weekend, ideally on the boat, I would have thought.
I will.
Okay, give our best to your wife and the baby.
I will.
Okay, and come back sometime.
A pleasure.
Maybe next time do a whole song.
Well, I don't, yeah.
That would be nice, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
He's got it, then we don't have to get Joe Cocker in, we can pretend it's Joe Cocker. We could do the whole show with him. We go on the third box, and now we've got a Welsh bloke. Crank up the accent. Charles, have a great weekend.
Lovely.